What I'm saying is that a leader leads. A wise man once said, "He who thinks he is leading but has no one following is only going for a walk." You see, you are not a leader simply because somebody puts the title supervisor or manager on your door or your desk or your business card or your job description. You are a leader in direct proportion to how many people are following you and the degree to which they are willing to follow you. Great salespeople today are not marked by their silver tongues but by their open ears. They believe in asking lots of questions and listening carefully to the answers. You need to learn this skill because otherwise you wind up talking yourself out of sales. It can be done. You can have a sale in the books and talk yourself right out of it. In the Bible, Samson slew 1,000 Philistines with the jawbone of an ass. I knew a salesperson once who killed twice that many sales with the very same instrument. Yeah, my name is Bill, and I get my kicks by using illusion and magic tricks to demonstrate how we get deceived, how our hearts tell lies and our minds believe. We'll cut through some of life's confusion, and before I'm done, you'll be disillusioned. Now, my name is Billy Riggs, and I'm not just an illusionist. I am, much more importantly, what I call a disillusionist, which means I don't get nearly as excited about performing my illusions as I do about getting into your head and exposing your illusions, damaging psychological illusions, faulty perceptions of the world and your place in it that lurk in your subconscious mind and form glass ceilings, self-imposed barriers to success through which you cannot break. When I was about 6 years old, one day I innocently left several unwrapped Hershey Kisses on the dashboard of my mother's car on a hot summer day. We came back an hour or two later to find they had melted all down the dashboard and into the carpet. I have a question for you. What was it about my mother's car that made the chocolate melt? Heat? Wrong answer. We have some nice parting gifts for you. It's a lifetime supply of lead press-on nails. Tell us about them, Johnny. It's not the heat. I'm going to prove it to you. Let's suppose that instead of heating some lumps of chocolate to 140 degrees for 1 hour, we instead took some lumps of clay, put them in a kiln, and heated them to 2,000 degrees for 8 hours. What would happen to them? They would harden. Don't ever allow yourself to believe that it is the heat applied to you by your clients, by your workload, or by the franchisor that causes you to melt. Heat can never do that. The only thing heat can do is reveal your melting point. The only thing heat can do is reveal the stuff of which you are made, and that's great news. Do you know why? Because unlike the lumps of chocolate and the lumps of clay, you and I as human beings have the high privilege and the incontrovertible right of choosing our own melting point, of choosing the stuff of which we are made.
Billy was awesome. I really liked the illusions and the message that went along with illusions. I thought he did an excellent job. Mesmerizing.
Still a good strong pulse?
Yes.
Okay, that's a living person. Take the last piece of paper and hold it to your forehead. Ladies, did my pulse stop?
Yes.
Yes.
That's the deceased person.
This is your father's brother's son, correct? Ma'am, can you read that? SS? Are those your cousin's initials?
Yes.
Your cousin's name was Sean Skelly, am I right?
Yes.
Thank you very much. Give these people a big hand as they all go back to their seats.
It was super funny and motivational and brought up really good points, so it was really good.
What you just saw is a trick. It creates the impression that my mind can change the world around me, even to the point of altering the molecular structure of metal itself. Up here, that's an illusion. But where you sit, the principle is ultimate reality, because the thoughts, the grand illusions, if you will, that you've harbored in your mind since you were a small child have already created for you a quality of life, a level of income, a degree of success, a measure of happiness that will never be improved or changed much until you identify your illusions, expose them to the light of reality, and eliminate them. Let me tell you what I think may be the grandest illusion of life. It is this, that my success in life is largely determined by factors that are beyond my control. This is the grand illusion that compares your life to a train sitting on railroad tracks, and God or fate or karma or some set of circumstances forced on you against your wishes has laid out for you a set of railroad tracks, and you are helpless to do anything but follow them to a predetermined end. It's fatalism. It's victimization. And it is an illusion. Because you and I hold right now in the palm of our hands, in equal measure, the single greatest purely human power in this universe. And that is the power to face any circumstance with a fabulous attitude. And one of the most wonderful serendipities of this life is that even though at a poker table a royal flush always beats a pair of threes, in life it's not always that way. In life, a pair of threes played with enthusiasm and motivation and excitement and determination will often beat a royal flush played without those things. Who are your internal customers? One another. I would like to share with you what I call Riggs' law of customer service. It is this: external service eventually rises or falls to the level of internal service. The way that you treat one another, and if you're a boss, the way that you treat your people will eventually be reflected in the way that they treat the external customers, the end users. Now, your dream doesn't have to be quite that magical because you don't need 50 million people to follow you to make it come true. You just need the people on your team, the people who report to you, to buy into your dream, to make these dreams become a reality. And so I ask you a question: is there a fire burning in your belly? If you do not have that type of a fire and you can't get it, you will never be the leader you could otherwise be, because you cannot give your team a disease that you do not already have. It is the eternal law of life that if you choose to get up every day with your head in the wrong place and say, my glass is half empty, it will get emptier. The consequence of a negative attitude is that you will attract bad things and bad people to yourself, and over the course of your lifetime, you will drain your glass to the dregs of all of the joy that you otherwise could have known. And you'll find a very troubling process at work in your soul. Not only will your glass grow emptier, it will also grow smaller. By virtue of a fabulous attitude, you'll attract good things and good people to yourself, and over the course of your lifetime, fill your glass to overflowing with all of the joy that life can contain. Okay, last time. This is your brain. See that, have that commercial in South Dakota. This is your brain on a bad attitude. And this is your brain on a good one.
He will tell you the truth, and he will entertain you beyond your imagination.
The letter you are thinking of, is it not a Q? That's what I said, it is not a Q. If before your eyes I could take those two sealed, signed envelopes and transform them into two screaming chickens? Was one of your parents a woman? Does the name Mommy mean anything to you, sir? Sir, please toss me that book, if you will. On 3, 1,